Today's tech spot, we are having a look at the Marvel Studios Iron Man 2 Mark V Armor Suitcase Mobile Fuel Cell. This high-capacity 12,000 mAh auxiliary power hub for smartphones, tablets, and portable game consoles comes to us in a very neat presentation as it comes through the Mark V Armor Suitcase. Remember the Mark V Armor Suitcase when Tony was first confronting Whiplash? It's here in a charging fuel cell, and I think that's really, really neat. Before we have a look, of course, at the fuel cell, the front of the package features the Mark V suit. One of those Hot Toys pieces I just never got around to picking up, but I would love to get a Mark V suit. That's probably one of my favorite looking armors. On the side of the package, once again, the auxiliary port power hub for all your mobile devices, Mark V Armor Suitcase. And on the back, this comes to us from EFX Collectibles.com, though Spot actually picked this up from the folks over at Entertainment Earth. While I was actually going online, I was going through their store, and actually they have a really impressive selection of different things. I came across this, and Spot gets I have a lot of power banks. You know, I'm always loving power banks because it's one thing that can be very decorative, but also has a very practical use as well. But I'm always looking for very unique looking pieces, and getting this in a Mark V Armored Suitcase is so cool. So when I saw it on Entertainment Earth, I definitely had to pick it up. Now, above and beyond actually just opening this up and showing you guys what it looks like when we get out of packaging, you can actually flip the inside open, and there's like a little teaser there for you. That's what the suitcase will look like. But on the inside, it says there's actually a considerable read-up, so bear with Spot here. It says the EFX Iron Man Mark V Armor Suitcase fuel cell is not just a high-capacity supplemental power source, it is an officially licensed 1/4 scale replica of the actual prop seen on screen in Marvel Studios Iron Man 2. On the racetrack of the Grand Prix de Monaco, where Tony Stark first encounters his nemesis, Ivan Vanko, aka Whiplash. The suitcase is produced utilizing reference materials from the Marvel archives, including the original prop and 3D digital files to produce the prop replica. Charge your device or use it as a power source to power your device on the go, anywhere, anytime. It is compatible with most smartphones, tablets, and game consoles that use a 5-volt USB input. This includes the iPhone 5S all the way back to the 3G, iPod, all models, Android smartphones, BlackBerry, and most portable game consoles. Please consult your instruction manual for device for compatibility. Features include active LED power level indicator gauge, where it shows a constant monitoring of all the power status of the fuel cell. 3 LED indicator bars displays the charging status and the remaining power when in use. Turbo fast charging dual USB ports to simultaneously charge a smartphone and tablet at speeds up to 2.1 amps. Auxiliary power source, power your mobile device when your battery runs low. Extends the use of your device up to 45 hours. It also includes a USB charging cable. Having said that, Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. This is going to be such a cool gadget to have. When we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Iron Man 2 Mark V Armor Suitcase Mobile Fuel Cell. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Just before we have a look at the Mark V suitcase, list of contents. You get yourself an EFXcollectibles.com certificate of authenticity. This certifies that the accompanying collectible is an authentic replica produced by EFX Inc. under official license from Marvel Entertainment LLC. And again, just indicating that it was taken from reproduction prop archives and whatnot. Putting that to the side, you also get yourself just a kind of a walkthrough of how to use the mobile fuel cell. On the inside there as well. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. There's not really much involved, but I'll show you that more so when we have a look at the case. And you also get yourself an EFX return policy limited warranty. You get yourself a micro USB cable for charging and hooking to a device. And of course, you get the meat and potatoes itself, you get the actual case. Just getting a better look at the fuel cell, it's a really neat replica of the original case Tony used and then eventually wore in Iron Man 2. I guess really theoretically, if this is a 1/4 scale replica, then if you had, again theoretically, a 1/4 scale Mark V suit or Mark V Tony, you could have him holding this as if it was an actual prop. Colors, and with the colors of the burgundy, kind of this cranberry red, and the darker, almost like a gunmetal color, I think it does really look like the case as he used in Iron Man 2. You can kind of see where it would kind of separate itself. Again, you can't open this or anything like this because it is a fuel cell, but on the sides you have your ports. You have your 2.1A tablet ports and your 1A smartphone port, and then you've got your input port right in the middle. The first thing you're really going to want to do before you do anything else is charge it. So you can take your micro USB cable and you're just going to plug it into the input section of the fuel cell. Now I find the only downside to it is the length of cable that they give you is really, really short. You can't see it, but Spot's reviewing section is up here. Spot's PC though is way down there. So for this, I'm probably going to want to use something other than the cable that they supplied. But if you were charging this and you didn't necessarily have to have it on camera like I do, it would probably be still an adequate length to charge it to any USB hub or PC where you have a USB hub on there. So for that use, Spot's going to actually bring in a much longer cable, and I'm just going to unplug this, take the longer micro USB, and we're going to take this little end and plug it into the PC. With it plugged in, you can see that the LED lights are starting to illuminate in the front. Now, as it currently stands, you'll see the third light is flashing. So the charge of the fuel cell is sitting at around, give or take, about 75%. When all three lights are fully lit and they stay lit, then you know you have a full charge and the unit is essentially ready to go. I mean, you could be using it now, but I would always recommend, if you get a charging station or like a fuel cell in this case, make sure it's fully charged before you start using it, because you don't want to start draining the life of a battery because something's not fully charged. One thing as well is, if you're not quite sure where the charge status is of the device, at any given point you can press the middle light here, and you can see right now it shows as a full charge. When it comes time to charge your device, you'll notice that there's two ports on the sides, on either side of the input port. One says 2.1A tablets, one shows 1A smartphones. Now realistically, you can still charge under either port. It doesn't really necessarily matter, but you have to note that the output receptacle marked 2.1, this one right here, will charge your device twice as fast as the output receptacle marked 1. That being said, though, you would get a faster charge here. It would just merely mean that you would be draining the fuel cell at a faster rate. Really, the only other problem I'm going to come across too is plugging this cable in. My phone really isn't going to support the micro USB cable. That's not necessarily a problem, because if you have a device, you have a charging cable that's included, you just simply plug it into the corresponding port that you want to charge from. Having said that, Spot's going to then take the my iPhone 5 cable, and I'm just going to plug it into the port of the Mark V case, take my smartphone, make sure I got the charging port there ready, and plug it in. Now you'll take that, turn on, if I get the camera to focus, there we go, turn on the case by pressing again that middle light. And as soon as you do that, you have an immediate charge going right to your phone or in whatever device that you have currently plugged in. What I also like about the fuel cell, though, is it will automatically turn off the moment your device is fully charged. You don't have to worry that it's going to continue to send a charge from the fuel cell to your phone or any other device that you have plugged in. So when it is fully charged, the device turns off. That I really like. Fuel cells or, really external batteries are so readily available. There's so many different companies producing an external battery to be charging devices because people are always going to be traveling and don't always have an outlet to be charging their devices. You'd be wanting to take something with you. That being said, though, at least with something like this, you're really accommodating the geeks out there too, and I'm not afraid to admit the geek inside of me as well. Would love not only just to be charging the device, but be charging the device in a very, very cool way. I love Iron Man 2, and it's not... I think I prefer it probably a little bit more than Iron Man 3, but one thing that really stands out in my mind was the Mark V armor. Getting an external battery or a fuel cell in a design such as the briefcase that Tony uses to fight Whiplash the first time, I mean, you can't get any cooler, really, than that. Again, Spot picked this up from the folks over at Entertainment Earth. I'm going to provide that link down below if you guys want to head over there and check out the fuel cell. If you guys want to pick up one of these for yourselves as well, it's a really neat gift. Gift for yourself, or possibly gift for a friend that really liked Iron Man. This is a great way to charge a device and be really cool doing it. Today's Tech Spot, we were having a look at the EFX Collectibles, the Mark V briefcase fuel cell. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have even more tech spots heading your way. Certainly thanks for watching as you always do. I'll see you next time.